Sudden Impact was released in 1983 and it is the third sequel to the Dirty Harry film, the original Dirty Harry film. This film sees Sondra Locke playing a rape victim. She was the victim of a gang rape and she's basically going on the hunt for all of her attackers. This is a revenge flick basically, but it plays like a slasher flick. It plays like a slasher film. And this comes quite a few years after Halloween, and we're kind of just in the beginning of the 80s, so we've got the slasher movie genre in full throttle with all the Friday the 13th movies and, like I say, the Halloween sequels. And I think this was really tapping into that vibe because, as I say, it plays like a slasher film. The only thing is there's no slashing going on. You know, it's done with a knife or a machete or anything like that. It's all done with a gun. This woman's going around gunning these people down. As with all the Dirty Harry movies, this film takes a look at violence. It's all about the consequences of violence. Only this one, unlike the other Dirty Harry films, is that it's all done from the perspective of the victim. So Locke's character is actually the most interesting thing about the film. She's a more interesting character in this than Dirty Harry, who kind of in many ways still feels like he's going through all the same motions we've seen with him in the previous films. So much so that a lot of his scenes seem pretty redundant. Most of the scenes of his that take place in the first kind of quarter of the film, I really feel don't need to be there, because the most important storyline, this through line that is this character played by Locke, it doesn't kind of tie into any of those events that is happening with Harry's character at the beginning. So that for me is the main flaw with the film. You know, cut all that away, get rid of that stuff because it's unnecessary. Make this an hour-and-a-half long movie and you've got something really tight and really quite gripping. This is also the only film in the franchise that was directed by Clint Eastwood, one of my favourite directors. He does a fantastic job here, but like I say, could have done with reining in some of the stuff that was going on in the beginning of the film. I like the performance by Locke as well. I think that there's places she has to go in this film that are quite psychologically dark, as well as, you know, being in a position of extreme vulnerability when we're seeing her flashbacks. I'm never comfortable with rape scenes in films. This never really shows you anything too graphic, but still really gets under the skin, you know, even more so than the bloody and graphic violence that comes later on her part. The villains in this film are also much more satisfying, for want of a better word. Much more satisfying than the villains in the previous film, that is, that I found quite dull, to be honest. Here, yeah, they're vile. They're people that you love to hate. The character played by Locke, Jennifer Spencer, she is essentially the flip side of the same coin to Harry, only she works on the outside of the law, whereas he works on the inside, barely. So the ending of the film, which I won't give away here, just in case you haven't seen it, is, yeah, it brings up some interesting questions, you know, about justice and about what is okay, what is acceptable and what isn't. And I think that is what Dirty Harry does when it's at its best. I give this film a 3.5 out of 5. It would be a 4, a straight up 4, if it wasn't for all those problems in the beginning. But it's still very enjoyable, and like I say, the character of Jennifer Spencer is very involving. But what about you? Have you seen this film, and how do you think it compares to the other Dirty Harry movies? Comment below, let me know, and until next time, thanks for watching.